welcome to the Chimps. I'm Jonathan, and I'm here with Rocco and Robbie,
Hi.
and we are Bananas for Comics. Welcome, everybody.
He's really taking the main ship to heart.
Pause for 1 second. I just noticed it was a little close to me. Okay. What are we,
We're talking about.
I need you to relax. First of all,
We're talking about comic books tonight.
actually,
wait.
it's only half correct.
Specifically,
my good sir.
what are we reading?
That. All right,
What have
let
you
me
guys
run
been-
over what we're gonna do for today, because you guys are not helping.
I feel like we haven't done this in like 9 years.
Except it's been 7 days.
I know.
Let me check my
It's
calendar.
been a long 7 days. So first, yes.
You're right. It has been 7 days.
Firstly, we'll be talking about what we've been reading.
WandaVision.
Okay, that's second. We're going to talk about the new hit TV show from Disney Plus, WandaVision. Or as Jonathan likes to say...
Long
Division.
Alright, you're stealing other people's jokes.
Oh, yeah.
That's not what I was waiting for.
VisionWanda.
Yeah, because
Why?
he thinks men should come first, which is a big yikes from me. I think we should look for a new chip.
Jonathan,
Yeah?
When at
the woman
distance
should
is-
come first.
I never said that. I never said any of this. Words being put in my mouth by.
Guys, why are you even
by-
discussing...
You're the tall one right now.
I am tall. Okay.
Alright, so...
WandaVision.
But that's second.
The
First,
second.
Robbie, what have you been reading?
Should we restart?
No, we had such a good intro.
Okay.
Was it?
We can't recreate that energy.
Robbie, what
Yes.
have you been reading this week? I'm gonna take a sip of my Irish brew cold brew while you talk. Irish cream cold brew.
Cream.
It's a grande, by the way. Is it? Is that the tall? Is that the large
That's
size?
venti.
Yes. No.
It's a venti, by the way.
I was wrong.
Continue.
So, what have I read? What have I read in a week? What did I read? Oh!
You just said it.
You've
I
been
mean,
reading your
Animal
Bible?
Man. More Animal Man. I
You
have
finished it?
No, I have 2 more issues left.
How you liking it?
It's really good. The peyote issue. Have you read it?
No.
He
Okay.
hasn't read the second deluxe yet.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can I?
The
I don't,
paella.
I'm not even gonna say it.
How do you like all the stuff with his family and all that? I don't want to spoil it. Everyone
So
should read
cool.
Animal Man.
The
but it's
issue
fucking
where you
perfect.
see how everything fits
Yeah,
together. Whoa.
this is, I think it's Morrison's best work.
When I look at specifically what we just said, there is something that occurs in the background of the book that you may not notice, and then this issue goes back and explains a lot.
It's fucking
I can
crazy.
really see how they went from that to the level they do it in The Invisibles.
So I know Invisibles is probably still your favorite.
Yeah.
Where does this rank on your Morrison list? Because you've read almost all of his stuff now. All of his big stuff. anyways.
That's a good question.
I'm just curious.
This is definitely top 5, maybe even top 3.
As third, does Doom Patrol come ahead of that as well?
It's really hard. Oh, this is not one I can do on the spot. Because
Sorry.
The Invisibles is definitely number 1.
Yeah.
I think I like The Filth more than most people, but that's maybe number 3.
Okay. Oh, wow. Doom Patrol doesn't hit your top 3?
Doom Patrol might be 5.
Whoa.
No, Doom Patrol's 4.
Okay.
Animal Man's 5.
Oh, okay. And then 3 is Flex?
3 I'm going to do Flex,
So it's
2
just
is The
It's
Filth,
the Hyper Trilogy, and then it's...
and then 6 is All-Star Superman.
Flex is the best.
Flex
Is that
very
every
good.
Morrison book you've read? No, Arkham Asylum. Fuck. Arkham Asylum.
I cannot do this on the spot.
Okay, make a list.
I'll make a list. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I
How
know.
about,
I don't
we'll
need
do a
to make
Morrison
list.
episode in the future when Jonathan and I have read the Hyper Trilogy.
Just to wrap up what I've read, I'm going to talk about it more later.
Yeah.
I went back and was rereading the Scarlet Witch and Vision miniseries. There's a 4-issue one, and then there's a 12-issue one, and there is definitely a lot of imagery that the show is taking from the Vision miniseries. I have not seen anyone talk about how it takes quite a lot from both of these miniseries. Like,
in terms
quite
of the
a lot.
relationship?
In
or-
terms of their relationship, imagery, and what happens.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know.
Hmm.
Well, I'll
I'll talk about it a little
yeah.
more later.
Because I know of 2 books that it pulls from heavily as well. That's not that, because I haven't read that. But
It's not like adapting it, but
no, yeah, no.
It's not adapting anything,
No MCU
really.
movie really adapts anything.
you are correct.
Because
You're-
Infinity War is nothing like the comic.
Even like Civil
War
War
is nothing like the
is
comic.
Nothing. Not at all.
Age of Ultron.
Nope.
Nothing
Thank
like
God it's nothing
No.
like the comic.
Well, the original Age of Ultron? Or are you talking about the Bendis one?
The Bendis one.
The Bendis one came out at the same time as the movie. Before the movie.
No, the original one then.
Yeah.
That one's bad.
Bendis?
Time travel
Or-
one.
That's the Bendis.
The time travel one.
I've never read it.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care.
What have you been reading, Jonathan? Did you say anything?
Hi guys, I'm continuing my binge on One Piece. I'm on chapter 752.
Moving on.
Okay, this isn't bananas for manga, so.
No, I'm
But
not.
it will eventually have a manga
We should
episode.
do a weekly insert in the middle of the episode where it's just you. You have your bananas for manga.
Well,
My- My One Piece update.
Yeah. Ew.
I do want to do a manga episode one day where we take some like Junji Ito's big stuff, but also some lower stuff that
I
people don't really know
do
about.
really want to read Ghost in the Shell.
I
That's one I want.
Akira.
I would read that.
I'm not gonna have this
All right.
discussion.
Jonathan,
Here on the
what is
podcast?
the other book you read by a famous writer artist that we love?
All right, I'm gonna finish saying what I was saying,
Oh,
but
yeah,
then I
say one-
instead.
I almost knocked my coffee over.
No,
and
you
then-
knocked your coffee
well,
over.
No, in trying to save it from knocking over, I knocked it over.
You slapped
And-
it into the desk.
He didn't spill a drop of
I
it.
didn't
though.
No.
spill it out because it's almost empty. It has a lid on.
All right.
Anyway,
What were you saying?
if we do a manga episode, I'm not gonna get into
Manga.
this-
Did he really
manga.
just say manga?
Yeah, it's funny.
Okay.
Wait. This is gonna take 2
Manga.
seconds. I have a really funny story.
Okay.
So,
One.
2.
God.
Both went for that.
our friend Alvaro and I,
I love that guy.
we were in Japan once,
No way.
and there was a guy who was trying to speak Japanese, and he said it with such a funny American accent.
Oh, this is a funny story.
And it was how do you say excuse me?
Sumimasen.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's how
we
you're
would-
supposed to say it.
Yeah, and we would make fun of that and say it constantly. And then one time, we were at a small bakery. No, we were in a
Well,
very...
you weren't... To elaborate on what you just said.
Yeah.
'cause you weren't making fun of the word. You were making fun of how much it's used in Japan, right? Because people
No,
say
we were
that
making
a
fun
lot.
of how the white guy pronounces it.
Oh, but you have to explain how the white guy... You didn't say how he pronounced it.
Because it's going to spoil how I said it.
Oh, okay.
So, we splurged on a nice hotel for an afternoon. And there was like a very nice bakery that was pretty well known. And we went up, and Alvar and I do not speak Japanese, but we know enough phrases to get by. And so he navigates it perfectly, goes through, and then the lady turns her back on me, and then I'm going to ask her, and I'm so used to mispronouncing sumimasen that I go, yeah, Sumi Mason. And it's, because it's her language, it's just like someone totally mispronouncing excuse me to the
Yeah.
point where you don't know someone is saying excuse me.
Because it's not even the
She
same...
didn't even flinch. And Alvaro starts bawling his eyes out laughing. And then everyone starts looking slowly, puts together what's happening, and I'm just like, wait. Sumi Mason.
You said it again.
I did?
Yeah,
Oh, Sumimasen. Sorry. See, that's how much I say it that way. It was
No,
just
it's
really
very
funny.
funny.
It was very embarrassing.
That's silly.
Now, Jonathan, back to...
I was literally just gonna make a comment how if we did do a manga episode, I would have to talk about One Piece just because of how impressive I find it to be. I'm not gonna get into why.
Isn't it? Yeah. Isn't it one of the most popular ones?
Yeah.
It is
It's the highest selling comic in the world.
by a single author.
Oh.
By what?
By a single author. That's cool.
Also, it's like right behind in sales by like one series. It's only beaten by Superman and Batman, and by the end of its run, it will probably beat Batman, but definitely not Superman.
You think if DC took a break from Batman for a year, their sales would...
They would die.
Yeah.
DC would close.
That's
if
crazy.
They didn't have
DC
Batman.
would
It's
close.
so
I was-
funny.
I want Jonathan to finish, but remind me to say a story about that after, actually.
That's the other thing I'm reading. Lost Dogs by
Oh,
Jeff
yeah.
Lemire.
Yeah.
It's not his first book, but it's the first book you can get your hands on, really.
Yeah, it's the first, like, published work that you could still get. His only other one's like a boxing story that's in
Yeah.
like it's not even in print anywhere.
And it's his first one. His art is like super rough in the most charming way possible, and I love it. Read it, you people.
It is a very short book too. It's like 40 pages.
You
Something
lent
like-
it to me.
He
I
lent
lent
it
it to you.
He
You
lent
did.
I lent it
sorry.
to Jonathan, and then when he gave it back to me
Gotcha.
the same minute, I gave it to you and said,
That's right.
"Read this."
I love Jeff Lemire. He's my favorite.
I will definitely have it read by next week.
Yeah, good. So before I get into the thing I read, I quickly want to say my story that I didn't need reminding of because I remembered. I was listening to a podcast actually yesterday with Dan Didio, the former head guy at DC.
Mr. Dick Grayson ruiner.
Hates Dick Grayson, hates Wally West, but he'll
So
never
weird.
admit it. Yeah, he really hates those two. And it's funny you brought up the Batman thing. He actually said when he was talking about it that they always had to make sure they had Batman books in print because that was
All that is
almost-
going to come through on the mic, Jonathan. Just so you know.
Jonathan's been playing with an action figure.
Just the drag.
The drag is going to be the loudest.
So yeah, he was just talking. I just thought it was funny because the guy that was at the charge of getting everything released at DC was talking about how Batman was like the most important thing to ever have out at all times.
All right.
Which is funny. Now what I've been reading, I finished up my first Wonder Woman by George Perez omnibus. Now,
Gotta
I
read it.
really liked it. I don't think it's perfect by any means. I think some of the dialogue is a little dated and it can be a little slow at times. That being said, how George Perez writes Diana is my favorite way any character has been written in any book. It's at least superhero wise.
She
Because
is, like, so good.
every time she's there, I gotta think of Milano for a second because that was adorable.
My dog Milano stuck his nose in The Walking Dead and just huffed it.
He was happy. It was really cute. Every time Diana is on quote unquote screen, I guess, she is just so happy and so nice and always wants the best for everyone.
Yeah.
And it's just so wholesome, and I love everything with her on there. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't think every arc is great in that book, and I don't like some of the turns Perez does with, like, the lore, but I love this book anyways. Like, I think it's really fun and just really enjoyable, and I'm very excited to read the second omnibus.
I agree. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. Mr. Have you you've never read a Wonder Woman book, right?
I haven't read a Wonder Woman book. I haven't read a Captain America book. I haven't
Yeah,
read an
I've
Iron Man
read
book.
Captain
I haven't
America
read a.
Never read an Iron Man book either.
I've read a lot
Unless
of
Civil
books.
War counts.
That book makes me mad.
I like it. But I understand why anyone would
I
hate
think
it.
I've read like one Spider-Man book.
That's depressing.
You know what? Something happens in Civil War that is very cool but really bugs me?
What?
You know the Daredevil, the silver under his tongue moment?
Yeah.
Canonically, at that time, Danny Rand is Daredevil.
Yeah.
So it kind of doesn't make as much sense as
Yeah,
it should
whatever.
do. This is a little thing.
Alright, so.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I read. Now, I'll talk about this when I read more of it.
You want to move on to the main
Yeah,
topic?
Let's move on to the main topic, which is...
Cue the theme song.
WandaVision is a show.
We're talking about WandaVision.
Who?
WandaVision.
Oh.
Who's that?
So, what's WandaVision?
WandaVision is a Disney Plus original series. It is the first entry in the MCU. I don't know.
It's
a
the first.
TV show. It's cool.
It's the
What's the-
first of the new phase.
What's the
You
actor?
guys excited for the new phase of Marvel?
Actually, that's not true. Oh, no, yeah, Spider-Man Far From
Yeah.
Home. That's so stupid.
Shut up.
Whatever.
What's the actor's name that plays Vision again?
Paul Bettany.
Don't you ever contradict me again.
Whoa, that was serious. Paul Bettany is back and better than ever in this
He-
hit MCU Disney Plus original series.
He is
Cue
good.
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany walks
We didn't
up.
see Future State.
Uh,
No, it's the Future State.
yeah. I just
Um,
wanted to.
So, did you guys watch it?
no.
No.
I don't have Disney Plus. End of episode.
No, I was ridiculously excited for
Yeah,
this.
this show's awesome.
And then I watched it, and it was somehow even better than I was hoping it was gonna be.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm ready.
they got
5 seconds in.
It's
That's
really
awesome.
good.
You know what's weird? So, now that I'm thinking about it, so we were right before this talk just started. We were talking about what shows we think they're gonna adapt for like the 70s, 80s, 90s, and you brought up that 70s show as a joke.
That'd be funny.
But they got the mom from that 70s show in the first episode. Why
You're
would
right.
they save her for the 90s episode? Now that I'm thinking, wait, that's a 2000 sitcom.
I don't
So that
know.
wouldn't even work.
I don't know.
She was great in it though.
She was good.
She's also in Friends.
Wait, what are we
Remember that?
talking about? I
the,
zoned out.
the
The-
boss's wife.
Yeah, and
The
she's
boss's
like,
wife,
oh.
she's like, stop.
And he's like,
That was a creepy scene. All right, wait.
There's a couple
Quick
of
story
really-
about that.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, I was working the other day, and a friend of mine came up, and he goes, "Have you watched WandaVision?" I go, "Yeah, it's awesome." And he goes, "Dude, that scene where he's choking is like, creepy as fuck." And I was like, "Yeah, it actually was like you don't think about. I don't think MCU has ever been creepy, and
Not
that was
that well.
actually creepy."
from that, I've heard a couple of different, like one of my friends was watching it and pointing this out. It didn't stick with them in the same way it stuck with me. And when I pointed it out for them, it does change. If you like keep that moment in your mind, the laugh track is like inherently creepy.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because it's
yeah.
just covering up that there is something very eerie going on.
I listened to another podcast. I know you also listened to,
Which
and
What podcast?
they kept
we can
describing
plug them. What is it?
the Infinity Cast,
Oh,
Special Guest
yeah.
Films. And they kept
I should
describing.
start listening to that.
Very
I love
good.
him.
They kept describing it as very sinister, and
Yeah,
I think that is the correct word
Now,
to describe how it feels.
we didn't say this before, but we should say it. Spoiler warning.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. Both episodes have been out for almost a week now. So
Yeah.
It would be a week by the time this goes out.
Yeah.
because of the nature of streaming, if you haven't seen it already, you probably were not rushing out to see
How
it.
do you guys like episode 3? It's out right now.
It's out for you guys, not for us.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not out for another.
I was like, wait, what?
It's not out for another 2 days for us.
I'm excited.
It's
I'm
gonna
very
be
excited.
awesome.
But yeah, so let's go through episode 1 first, and we'll go through episode.
I
2.
will say real quick, I think it's kind of a disservice to try and recap.
No, we won't
Like,
recap.
yeah.
I just
Yeah,
think
I
we should
just
talk
wanted-
about it. So episode 1 is
Right off the bat, it's not like it builds to it. It's just like,
you're
boom,
just
it's a
there.
sitcom.
Yeah.
We're in it.
yeah.
Which made me
immediately.
very happy.
I like
'cause
it.
I don't need build up. I'd rather figure out what's going on, later.
Yeah.
So, I love it right off the bat. Like you said, I thought it was really funny. The whole setup, it just literally felt like a real sitcom where there were there's like the miscommunication on if it's the
Yeah.
anniversary.
The
or if it's-
caliber of jokes is like
it's
really
literally
specific.
Right out of it literally feels like as I was watching it with our friend Shiloh, who's in the other room, I was like, this is I Love Lucy. Like when you go to Vision's work and he's typing away and it's
Yeah.
just a forward shot of the office and you can tell there's just 2 desks there. It's like it's I Love Lucy.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
it's a very, very visually pleasing show.
And I know you said it's based off the Dick Van Dyke Show specifically, that episode.
It follows a structure based on one specific show, but
Yeah.
it pulls from all over
It
the
felt,
place.
yeah, like to me, I only ever grew up watching I Love Lucy with 50 sitcoms, and it literally just felt like that.
So I want
love
to talk about something that I'm really loving about this show. I am a television production major, and I did a history of TV shows, like an evolution
it.
thing.
Yeah,
And it is very fun from episode 1 and 2 to watch the little minute changes that I've
yeah.
paid attention to, and I'm excited for episode 3. It's going to be in
Give
color.
some examples?
Hmm?
You want to give some examples of those little minute changes?
Even just from the basis for episode 1 and then episode 2 is the Dick Van Dyke Show and then Bewitched.
Yeah.
The concept is supposed to jump a decade each episode. Technically, Bewitched premiered in when is this?
60s. Technically, it's in the 60s, right?
Yeah, right at the end.
No,
It's still
other way around.
Other way around.
50s.
50. Yeah, it's 58,
Yeah.
and it represents the 60s.
But yeah,
But it took place mostly in the
that's
60s.
like we were saying Full House is probably gonna be the 90s episode. That started in the 80s, but it's in 90s. Everyone
Yes.
considers that a 90s.
Started
Yeah.
in 87. So
So
that's a little earlier than the other.
the Dick Van Dyke Show is. Yeah, it was 1 year.
It's by 1 year. It's a little earlier.
Yeah, I just
No, I know.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So the Dick Van Dyke Show
that was weird.
to Bewitched. The differences are it's a lot less static. The first episode of Dick Van Dyke Show, it's kind of like all master shots. It's kind of like a play
Yeah, I
with
can see that.
very little camera cuts. And then with Bewitched, there's more inserts. There's your, regular static shot like a play, but then you also have the inserted close-ups of like a chest up when they're talking. It goes to Vision, goes to Scarlet Witch, goes back and forth. And so I can see that this is also a show that breaks the format for like eerie reveals and stuff.
Yeah,
so I can
see
see
a
it.
close up for when the guy was choking in episode 1, but that's the only time I think there was a close up in that episode.
So on episode 2, I can see there being a level of confusion of, is this breaking the sitcom format, or is this one of the things that Bewitched innovates? Stuff like a shot of the outside of the house isn't unique, but getting more shots, more.
That's what I was
It's
gonna
just-
say.
yeah.
So it's like more sets because there's the scene at the pool and there's the scene.
More on location
Is
sets, yeah.
that a thing of the '60s as well, or is that kind of?
It's a thing of Bewitched.
It is okay.
Yeah.
That's
Bewitched was fairly
So
innovative.
yeah, Bewitched is another show I haven't really watched. Like the first episode, I kind of
Just
got
watch
more
the
than
Will Ferrell movie.
I did actually.
Oh, you did?
Did you not see me?
Jeez.
I mean,
I've seen it.
we were we were. Little fun story. We have a good friend of ours, Mary, and she was texting about
Oh,
the
man.
show, how it's based on Bewitched.
Yeah.
What a
And
hero.
I was like, oh, the Will Ferrell. I
Oh,
went on
yeah.
for like 10 minutes with like a fake confusion thing. I'm like, oh, you mean the Will Ferrell movie, right? I love with Nicole Kidman. I love that movie. I just went on. I don't care about the movie. I just thought that was a funny. I was like, oh, and when she was like, no, it's based off the show. I was like, oh, now the movie makes a lot more sense because they're filming a show called Bewitched. And I
That
was
movie is
You
so
goofster.
crazy.
that movie is pretty weird. It
But,
definitely-
My favorite Will Ferrell movie.
Another TV show.
that's sad.
Really?
I haven't seen it.
Another TV show I really love. So production is just something I notice and really enjoy. Documentary Now.
Yeah.
That is
Each
a fun
episode is
show.
based on a different documentary. So I really love matching the production style of something else.
Yeah.
And this show is so.
It's
It's just very fun. It's
They
very
do
pleasing.
it snap, so well.
Yeah.
So.
Even the cuts where, like when she snaps and the wedding rings appear,
yeah.
you can see like
You can
their
see
hand
the
goes an inch to
movement.
the
Yeah,
side.
It's great.
It's just
That
stuff
is
like
very
that.
sick.
I love
they,
it.
they really just do the
The laugh
effort.
track.
the
Yeah,
laugh track.
laugh track.
And episode 2, the laugh track is added in post. And I think,
In episode 1, was it a live audience?
yeah, because when you're out on sets, you can't drag like a whole audience with you.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. You know what,
even like little stuff like that, it's kind of
That's very
it's just
cool.
very fun.
Jonathan? What about you, man?
What about me? What
I
do
don't
you
know.
mean?
What
How you doing?
I'm good.
What have you been reading?
I've been reading.
Was there anything you kind of noticed on WandaVision,
Noticed.
or like that you just liked?
I think about the scene in the first one a lot
Which one?
with the microwave
The microwave.
where they just like they do like a fake ad. Not the microwave,
Oh,
the toaster.
The ads,
The ads
were
are very
awesome.
interesting.
I
The fake
forgot.
ad was the toaster.
It was the Stark toaster.
And the toaster just had the red light blinking. And I think
Yeah,
about that a lot.
The only light was so.
So I mean,
cool.
there's this like eerie feeling.
And then in episode
Right.
2, it was the Hydra Watch.
yeah.
Was the
There's a
ad?
lot
Oh, I want to reference the Infinity Podcast. Pointed out something that I didn't realize was bothering me. The use of the word Easter eggs in the discussion of the show. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Every
I hate people
single
saying
every
Easter eggs
single
on the show 'cause this whole
detail
show, yeah.
is being referred to as an Easter egg. But in a mystery, is it really an Easter egg or is it a carefully placed clue?
Yeah.
Right?
It's a clue.
It's not an Easter egg.
It's a carefully placed Easter egg.
No, it's a clue.
Because
Clue.
At the end of the At the
board
end of
game?
this, I want all of us to share a theory on
do you
what
know
is
what they
going
call
on.
Clue in England?
Yeah.
No. what
Call
is
it like Cluedo.
That's disgusting.
You told me at your house.
I
It was
hate
very
that.
absurd.
They call it
Why do they call
Cluedo
it Cluedo?
because they're psychos.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's awful.
Pretty funny.
That's.
So wait, let's get through 1 and 2, and then let's each share our personal theory of what we think is going
Well,
on.
really, what I wanted to bring up before we go into this isn't really theory.
No,
This is just
at
an
the end.
idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is an idea of we were talking again before about what we think the next episodes are going to be. I am very excited for the next episode because I think it's going to be based around the Brady Bunch. And I grew up, my mom had like the first season of Brady Bunch on DVD, and I would watch it almost every day. I was like in love with that show, so I'm so excited to see what they do with that in the next. Because so episode 2 ends with her being pregnant, so we're gonna assume that they'll have either have a kid the next episode or she'll just be pregnant. But I could just see them. They'll probably have a one bed, because one thing the Brady Bunch did was that very innovative was it was the first TV show to have a married couple have the same bed. Because if you remember in episode 2, they have the separate beds, which was a very popular thing in shows. Just one.
Oh wait, I want to say that line real quick, where Vision is looking outside, and Wanda says, "Are you using your night vision?
Yeah, that was good.
It was really funny.
I love the performances in the show.
Oh my god.
We didn't talk about that. They're just so good.
So
I
good.
made a joke about Paul Bettany, but he was great in
They're
it.
so charming.
Really good.
Emily Olsen? What's her
Elizabeth
first name?
Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen is awesome.
And what's her name? Who's
Kathy Hahn.
She is so funny. And she's so great in this.
does not even feel
a complete chameleon.
She is so good in everything I've ever seen.
Whenever she was on screen, I think I always got the most giggles.
Yeah, she can do any type of performance too. Like,
it's crazy.
She's great. She's in the first thing I ever saw her in actually was I think Step Brothers, and she's
good at Step
Brothers. Step
She
Brothers.
is the best part of that movie.
My favorite Will Ferrell movie.
Is it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I have.
I don't think that movie has aged too well. I think she is absolutely fantastic in that movie, though. And
Very funny.
she's fantastic in everything because she's awesome.
She's very funny, and she's very good in this.
Very charming.
Who else is in
Beyond
this?
charming, I might say.
Any other big actors?
Cy Abelman from what's it called? The Coen Brothers movie. My favorite Coen Brothers. My second favorite Coen Brothers movie. A Serious Man. He's in it. I got so excited when I saw him. He's the boss.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember when the guy got fired in the first episode?
I love the guy with the mustache.
Yeah, I was
so
actually
funny.
laughing at that scene pretty
hard. And in
hard.
the talent show,
he's
Vision
back in the
lifts
talent show.
Piano.
Yeah, he
and
does.
Wanda turns it into that was my grandmother's piano.
Yeah,
so good.
Just so weird. That was really good. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. This might actually.
Wait, was that Brinkley?
Yeah, it was. Wow.
Wow.
That was
My
crazy.
dog Brinkley barked.
She never
barks.
I have a lot to say.
Wait,
Yeah, lots
because of the nature of big comic book adaptations and casting news, we do know a couple of characters who are in it. I'm just gonna say
we just know that
there are 3
cameo. There's 3 cameos.
There's 3 that we know are characters. 2 are returning. 1 is not. There's 1 big one we don't know. So I'm just gonna say, at this point in the show, it is not revealed. But if you know anything about casting, you know who it is. That woman who appears in the cabinet is Monica Rambeau.
She was in the trailer.
Yeah, but she just hasn't said her name yet.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say the other 2?
Yeah.
It's
I don't remember, but I haven't watched the trailer in a while.
the FBI agent from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
And Natalie Portman's friend from the Thor movies.
Wait, they got what's her name? From that other she's also from a sitcom.
It's right there.
Kat Dennings.
She's
also from a sitcom that I don't
Two
like.
Broke Girls.
But
it's alright.
I like her.
She's funny.
So both of them are going to be in it.
She's from the hit movie Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, citing Michael Cera and her. I can't see it.
Oh, that's my favorite Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay movie.
I liked it when I was in 9th grade when I was watching a bunch of coming of age movies. So
It's alright.
I haven't watched it since.
So it just adds to this like she says her name's Geraldine, Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
It just adds to this eerie like what is
There's a lot of weird stuff going on.
Do we want to talk about the more obvious clues like the
wake up.
Before we get to the clues,
yeah,
just want to talk about one more thing. I appreciate in episode 2. It's the magic act thing.
Oh, it's
so good.
That's
you finish it.
a
That's
bunch
based
of
on something.
Bunch of little details.
Based on a Bewitched episode?
It is.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of little details in the background where there are some very, very famous magic tricks that are just there in the background. I love magic. It's one of my favorite things. Another thing about this is probably less intentional and more what they were going for the show and for what the whole thing was. But there is this theory in magic that a trick cannot be too perfect.
Yeah.
Because it will keep the audience from truly believing
They even
it.
kind of say that at the start of the episode.
And
Yeah, the whole point of the episode was like her making it obvious that it was magic tricks.
yeah, and her making it obvious that it was magic tricks would actually make it more impressive to you if you were to see it in a actual performance or a show, because the way your mind would not pick up on it, like, oh, there has to be something up here.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense. But if you saw how it was done, or you were kind of hinted at it was done, your mind would be like, oh, that's awesome.
There is a Bewitched episode where the main character, who is a witch, is aiding...
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah. Is aiding in Will Ferrell's magic act.
Yeah.
Helping him look good. And it's funny that this is kind of like the opposite.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, it was really funny, too. He got drunk off a gum.
I like that a
That
lot.
was funny.
We've all been there.
I really like the Vision, and I really like these two as a couple, and I've been really bummed that they've been real background characters in all the other movies. Like, they started dating in between movies.
Well, I got news for you.
Yeah.
There's a little show called WandaVision. They get
What?
a lot more focus.
So I gotta go watch this.
It's also, I think, spinning out of this, Wanda's going to be, like, one of the main, like, or MCU characters spinning out of this. It really seems like. Brinkley is the fucking cutest dog ever. Milano, you're cute too. Don't worry, you cute. Now what I was gonna say. Oh yeah. So I think we should get into. You want to talk about those things you were saying and the like obvious hints? Like,
I just want to say, it's just like a little thing I noticed, like on Twitter and stuff. From the start, people have been like, "Oh my God, they're just doing Tom King's Vision."
Well, which isn't even
Nope.
correct. If anything, it's more, which I was just saying before, it's more House of M than it is.
Well, I just wanted to say it definitely takes like a lot of imagery. Obviously, like the Vision wearing clothes.
And even it
However,
takes the concept of normal family life from Vision. Is that also done in the Scarlet
that's
Witch?
also before though. But even the Vision wearing clothes.
Well, is that a suburban thing though?
Well, no, the Vision wearing clothes based on the Tom King comic book started in Civil War.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say, I want more people to know about it. The 12-issue miniseries with the two of them is moving out to the suburbs, quitting the Avengers, buying a house together.
Yeah.
And in the 4-issue one that takes place before it, there's a whole Halloween issue. We've seen in the trailers. There's going to be a Halloween episode in the show.
Yeah, with him dressing up as himself.
They both dressed up as themselves.
Yeah. This is where they decide to have a child together. There's an issue of them debating how that's going to work.
Yeah.
The ethics of it, blah, blah, blah.
That's all. Yeah.
I'm just saying, a lot of the show looks like it is pulling a lot from this miniseries, and I think people should read it.
I think it's pulling from three main things. Because I don't want to discredit Vision, because I think it is pulling from that.
Vision's awesome.
Vision is the best.
Yeah, we all love Tom King, so I think it's pulling from what you're saying, and I think it's pulling from House M, because it really seems like, we don't know if, like, the FBI or someone is controlling how she's viewing everything, or if she's doing it herself, because the whole point of House of M was she was so upset about, was it the death of her kid or something, if I'm remembering correctly?
Yeah.
That she literally altered all of reality to her.
You know how she says no more mutants?
Yeah.
I saw this very interesting fan comic on Instagram where she says no more Avengers and they all fade away. And I was just like, that is such a... Because a mutant is a type of being, and Avengers is an occupation.
No more Avengers.
It just made me laugh.
Yeah, because in House of M, she just deletes mutants from history.
Control, Alt, Delete.
Yeah, that's what she does. So, I think she's controlling what's happening in the world that we're watching in WandaVision. That's why I think it's pulling from House of M slightly. And I know a lot of fan theories is she's going to create mutants. Which, like, I don't know how you could just... Then that kind of takes away from the whole idea. I feel like how can you... The whole point of mutants is it's an allegory for racism and stuff. So
Yeah.
how can you make it an allegory for racism or bigotry? I
Have
know in the
you-
movies made an allegory for bigotry when you're creating them on the spot through magical means.
I also think if you just look at what the mutants are in that world, it's a next step in evolution.
yeah, unless it's
It's
the
not-
ultimate. Which
It's
is
not
a
the most
yikes.
far-fetched thing for it to
Just happen.
just happen.
I mean, why can't Wanda and Quicksilver just retroactively be mutants?
Yeah.
Why
Who
not?
cares?
Have
They
you
are
ever
mutants.
tried not being a mutant?
Why does everyone have to? Everyone thinks that you need to explain everything.
No, that's the
Disagree.
And I
beauty.
disagree with that.
Just
yeah.
do your thing. I like when that happens.
It's like we
So-
don't need a reason why the Fantastic Four weren't fighting in Infinity War. Who gives a fuck?
But
Like,
please, make them be from the 60s.
they're
'Cause
not.
that would just be fun.
It would be fun, but they're not gonna do it.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to.
Maybe.
I hope so. It'd be fun.
Maybe they will. Maybe WandaVision will be like 60s.
Or they could just time travel at the end of the
Maybe-
Fantastic Four.
Maybe Wanda
Or
will be
they'll
like.
get frozen in a black fight.
Maybe Wanda will be like more Fantastic Four,
Yes.
and then we'll have them.
She'll say more 60s, and the MCU is now in the 60s. All of it. So I'm gonna give a little breakdown of just a little something I was
Yeah.
thinking of in the show.
Because you can't help yourself.
I can't help myself. There is definitely. Listen, so she is very distraught over the death of the Vision.
What?
So I don't think it is
Vision's dead?
Well, okay. So, it's definitely not like a malicious, conscious, like, I'm gonna create this bubble for my perfect little world. I think it's definitely like a more subconscious reaction in her mind.
Yeah. Well,
And I think-
exactly.
I think because there are people watching, I think it's not just her reality. I think that area,
Yeah,
those are all real people being affected by her.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what I.
And I think there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some sort of barrier.
Let there be
cannot
sitcom.
get in. Let there be sitcom. I think because we do have like that
Most-
scientist character, Kat Dennings. We have the FBI character. I think there's a lot going on of them trying to get
Is the
in.
Skarsgård guy gonna be in it?
No, he's too busy being in Dune.
Dune?
Dune.
Well,
And if the Vision turns out to just actually be dead, I'm gonna be
I
really
think she's
upset.
gonna bring him back.
We're gonna get Grey Vision probably.
I think we could. The grayed out, emotionless Vision.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Reminds me a lot of you. After you don't get your morning coffee.
Who are you looking at for the podcasters out there?
I'm looking at Jake.
Jake, were you here this whole time?
I turned his mic off.
Because we all have separate mics, right, Robbie?
Yep.
Bye.
Jonathan, you want to say anything that you think is going on? Oh wait, I totally had more to say. I'm sorry. Yeah, you were just stomping your feet on.
I was walking away. That was
All
me
right.
walking away.
I'm basing some of this off the trailer and some of these little things that I'm noticing in the show. If you see in the trailer, there is definitely. Remember in The Winter Soldier, she was in that cell with Baron von Strucker,
Mm-hmm.
the Hydra guy.
Who?
Monocle.
No, who was with him? With
No, I don't even remember this character.
At the start of Avengers:
What
Age of Ultron,
Oh.
her and her brother are in that compound.
Yeah, I remember, sort of.
And we do see in the trailer, she is in something. She's in that same outfit. There's definitely something going on with pulling back and forth. There's the Hydra logo on that watch. It's called the Von Strucker.
Oh,
The Von
there you go.
Strucker.
I
Okay.
think we're definitely going to see
Caught
a
that.
little more background,
Yeah, for sure.
back stuff.
Forgot about that guy. I
Well,
only
they hyped
remember
him up and then he just died off screen.
Phase 2 movies very well.
I
It's whatever.
just hope it is less organization, even though it seems like an organization. And
Paul
more
Bettany said something that is important, actually.
I just
What'd he
hope
say?
it's less
Oh.
organization and more magic stuff.
So,
I think
Paul-
it should be both.
Paul Bettany, in an interview, said the show is going to change and go on, and then it'll coincide. It'll climax in a big MCU action spectacle. So we do know whatever is happening is probably going to be resolved.
Last thing, and then I think we should end it off.
Yeah.
So Paul Bettany he said that a very big cameo is gonna happen.
He said an actor who he's wanted to work with for a while.
Oh, he said
So
that?
it's someone.
Well, that changes everything.
It could be someone in the MCU. He hasn't met a lot of people.
It's Bob Saget.
He's met every character I thought it was going to be.
Did you meet Doctor Strange?
I mean, I would assume so.
I don't think he did.
Oh.
Who wants to
Alright, so
work
that's-
with
well, my-
Benedict Cumberbatch?
My
A lot
question
of
was
people.
going to be, who do you guys think it is? Yeah, I thought it was Doctor Strange because we know Wanda is going to appear in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie.
Could be Michael Cera.
It's probably Michael Cera, actually. Now that
Honestly.
I'm thinking about it, Michael Cera's probably...
Michael
He's
Cera.
probably himself from Superbad as well.
Could be Jonah Hill.
We're tying Superbad into the MCU.
It's Adam Sandler's character from Uncut Gems, Howard Ratner.
Howard.
Alright, we're getting into
No,
movies.
Do you think it's someone? Do you have an idea? Or do you think it's a new character?
Think it might be.
I think it could be a new character.
I think it could be a big cameo, like a big
Oh, right.
like, sitcom cameo or something.
Oh,
I
that
don't know.
would be lame.
Yeah, but like we're the ones hyping it up because that's what
What if it's Matt Smith?
I would scream.
Comes out. Hey
He
guys.
comes out as the Emperor.
As the Emperor. I know a lot of people think it's gonna, because like I said before, they want to bring the X-Men in, and a lot of people think that it's gonna be Quicksilver from the Fox movies, not her brother Quicksilver.
I don't get that.
Interesting poll.
They're not gonna
Yeah, but
tie the Fox
Who
movies.
plays him and
Evan
why would
Peters.
and so
From hit show American
Horror Story.
Psycho.
he really wants to work with him? That's the actor he really wants to work with?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
Throwing shots at
that
whatever,
sentence.
Evan Peters.
Oh my God, it's Ryan Reynolds. Deadpool.
That'd be weird.
That'd be really weird.
That would not fit into the
That
show
would
at all.
honestly kill the show.
Yeah, it would kill the show, wouldn't it?
Hey guys, I'm in the 50s.
I think her
Look at my
brother.
balls.
Look at my balls in black and white.
her brother Quicksilver.
One's black, one's white.
Like getting the guy. What's his name again?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson from Kick-Ass. I think it's funny going Quick-Ass to Quicksilver.
Quick ass.
That is what I just said.
Well, his friend in Kick-Ass is Evan Peters.
Oh my God, it is.
Bring them both in from Kick-Ass. Those two characters.
Imagine if they get Aaron Taylor Johnson back and he's playing Kick-Ass, and it's like.
So
That'd be funny.
before
Yeah, no, I think that would work. Before I finish, I think that would work
Why are you standing?
I'm my legs.
Okay.
in a sad world way, because like she's sad. It would make sense to bring her dead brother back as well.
Mad World?
But I also think Doctor Strange makes the most sense to tie it into the MCU. So that's what I think.
What if it's Jake Gyllenhaal
Well, it
and
took a
wants
lot
to
for me to
respond?
get that said.
Anyway, I want to finish this off by saying what my favorite Will Ferrell movie actually is. The Other Guys.
Starring The Rock and Mark Wahlberg. No, wait, Mark
Sam
Wahlberg
Jackson?
actually is in it. Yeah, The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson.
They're in it.
Yeah, and they
die.
They die in like the first 5 minutes. That was the whole joke. Can we not talk about movies?
No, I just
like ever
and
again?
on The Other Guys. The Other Guys. The Other Guys. And on The Other Guys. I like The Other Guys.
Bewitched.